Today's podcast is a companion to Life in Bloom, episode 204, The Gift of the Forest. RJ and I will talk about forest bathing. I'll make an arrangement foraged from the forest that includes a wasp nest. I share how to create a faux moss look on any container, and we'll make a moss cookie cake. It's about the health and wellness gifts we can get from just spending a few moments in the forest. One of the things I do love when I'm traveling is to visit flower shops, farmers markets, or garden centers. It's amazing to see what they have available in different cities, even if it's just down the road. Flower sellers are so unique, and their offerings can be so interesting and exciting. It's a great part of any traveling adventure. Cal Flowers is a proud sponsor of our Behind the Bloom podcast, where the health and wellness benefits of flowers go hand in hand.
Hey, Jay.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited for the gift to the forest.
I am too. I'm also very excited about the tip for this week.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's number 221, called Friend of Green. And it talks about composting your stems, leaves, and flowers after you arrange.
Okay.
Minneapolis was the first place I went to where I was giving a show and I was being allowed to work at Bachman's. Bachman's is a huge professional florist in Minneapolis, and they had like 16 or 18 stores.
Okay.
And they had purple delivery vans, and they let me design at their central design location. And it was the first place where I ever had to sort my trash.
Oh, okay.
So green trash
I always wondered
went
about
over
this.
here, plastic trash went over here. And we do that today on the show.
Okay.
Because we compost the green and then the trash goes to, and we also even try and do recycle. I mean, if there's stuff we can recycle, there's some things that we can't, like foil wrappers and things like that. We can't, or wrappers for flowers, cellophane and stuff can't be recycled. But so we really try and keep those separate and do that.
Okay.
Here at the house, I've wanted to do something about this for a couple years now. And when my friend Troy, my next door neighbor, came over and we built the potting bench outside out of pallets, I had found a thing for making a compost bin out of pallets. And I want Troy to do that with me because we have a place in the yard that we call Flower's Grave. It's named after the Flower's Grave cocktail that emerges later on. Flower's Grave is where all the flowers go after they've left the house. So once flowers have died, I put them all into a bin, and then I take that bin out and put it in one place in the yard, and it's called Flower's Grave. And I've kind of systematically kept it about the size of a grave. Because I can.
So it is a grave. Yeah.
It's just there. So we have compost that we can pull from that. It would be a framework for it and would keep it in a little bit better, probably, not let it spread out so much. But I have noticed that it's very, very fertile area. I mean, and it is really valuable to pick that up. Just being able to do that with it rather than throwing them away and putting them in the trash where they would go probably in a plastic bag to a landfill and be there forever.
Right.
I like that the flowers themselves can be. And even at the end of the season, all of the plants and stuff that we have that are left over, we also compost in that area too. So we have
That's so cool.
30-some container gardens. And so those things get composted too.
Are there any flowers that you have to worry about that aren't compostable, that have some type of poison or anything? Like, or can everything go to the compost?
Well, okay. Now, if I was being strict compost for vegetable garden, which I don't do, because I have a real hard time with vegetables. I can't grow them, and I adore farmers markets, and I adore buying these like prized tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff from all the wonderful vendors and supporting those people as well because they're farmers and they're agriculture. I'm not composting that onto food. If I was composting it onto food, I would have to be concerned about that because some flowers have insecticides or pesticides on them.
Oh, right.
I'm using it as compost for container gardens and things like that I'm growing something that I'm going to use as decoration or I'm going to cut and use as a cut flower. So absolutely. Right. My flower grower, Craig, he grows everything organically for me, and he knows that. I don't have to worry about those stems.
Right.
Stuff that I cut here in my yard is organic. But if I'm buying something from a flower seller, for example, I threw tulips out. There's probably some pesticides on those tulips because there would be something of some sort. I don't know if it would be. I wouldn't want to put that on a vegetable I'm growing.
I gotcha.
Right. Or
Right.
something I was going to consume.
Yeah.
So, and like with our roses, because we use many of our roses in cocktail recipes and stuff like that,
Mhm.
Kelly gets a special organic mint leaf compost.
Oh,
And it
really?
smells so good, and the mint
Cool.
itself is bacteria deterrent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that
and
is so
that's
cool.
from that. What is that company that he works with? I think it's called Rare. I'll find out and I'll put it in the
Okay.
comments for everybody.
Okay, cool.
They have rare varieties and heirloom varieties, and one of our goals is I have a list from my grandfather. It's on this desk somewhere. Who knows where it is? Okay, but there's a book that my great grandfather made about his greenhouses, and it lists all the varieties of roses that they grew. So we're trying to plant those roses in our garden.
Oh, how
So
cool.
they're roses from 1896.
Wow.
And this
Cool.
company carries them all, but they're expensive. So we
Oh,
try and like buy 1 or 2 a year,
okay.
And we also have to test them because they're like, okay, these are heirloom varieties, so they may not winter over in Michigan.
Mm.
You might be better off if you were in a lower geographic location in the US. We just try and figure that out. But I think that that's very interesting too. And we
Yeah.
have David Austin roses out here too. And so we do the David Austin varieties as well. We're not good at it. I mean, seriously, it's so true. I
Oh,
mean, people are always like, oh, when it comes to your garden, you must be, don't sell. Raina, my friend at APT, who's one of my reps at APT, she said, oh, I simply cannot even understand that you think you're not a good gardener. I'm not. It takes way too much attention. I'm a hobbyist and I love it.
mhm.
But arranging flowers is my thing
Right.
and
Mhm.
not growing them and checking them. And Kelly is much more in that lane, and he does a
Mhm.
lot of that. But
Mhm.
even, we're just hobbyists, and it's okay because it's a distraction for us. It's a distraction from the news, it's distraction from work, it's being out in nature. Sometimes we fail, and that's okay. It's okay.
Mhm.
It's absolutely okay. And it's about being outside, which is exactly what the show's about. Being outside,
Yeah.
getting out there and getting out in
Yeah.
the forest and forest bathing. And so Shinrin Yoku, which is the Japanese term for that, is also what led us to have Mo, who is going to
Oh,
be on the
right.
same show with you
With me,
in
right? Yeah.
season 8 coming up
Cool.
this year. So,
Yeah.
but this was our first entry into forest bathing. And so
Okay.
the forest that we're in this show is
It's beautiful.
It's Keith's backyard.
What?
So Keith lives out in the
Cool.
country.
Mhm. And Keith is your
He's our director of
DP,
photography.
director
Yeah.
of photography?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
also our sound guy.
Okay.
And him and Chris are partners in Fullview and have been our lifelong partners in Life in Bloom and You Bloom and JTV and Fun with Flowers and Jay. They have been there for every single episode. He has this property and he has ponds on it and he has cabins on it. He even has a cemetery that
On his
he has made.
property?
He has made because they're horror film fans.
Oh,
And
right,
so
right.
they always have a big Halloween party in the cemetery.
That's
So
cool.
I don't believe there's people buried there. Maybe there is. I don't know.
It's just a set or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a
Maybe
set.
not.
But it's very spooky. And
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
very cool. And I know that they've shot some movies there,
Oh, right,
So
right.
so
Cool.
and there's moss and there's trees and there's ticks and there's mosquitoes. And I mean, it's all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
all goes along with it. But it's wonderful. And he was like, we can just wander around out here. And it's amazing that it's adjacent to their home.
Oh, yeah. It's really beautifully shot. Just watching you walk around there and seeing everything, like
Yeah.
all the forest, it's really, really beautiful and all of the green.
That's also Keith.
Oh.
Keith is a beautiful director
Oh.
of photography. He is
Oh.
very, very, very talented, and it's
Oh,
wonderful.
it was a fun way to open the show.
Oh,
was just to see
yeah.
you walking around and taking it all in.
And that was the first time I'd ever been there.
Mhm.
And I mean, out in the forest like that. And I was just
Right.
kind of like, oh. And it was funny because I will tell you, I got letters, and even Mo said to me, I couldn't believe you were forest bathing with all those pine trees and you were in shorts and a short sleeve shirt out in tick country. And I was like,
Oh.
yeah, I guess, and I will tell you this. We are crazy about a product called Wonderside. Wonderside, it's these two ladies in Texas who make this, and it is an amazing product. It's made with food grade herbal oils.
Oh, and it's anti-tick? Or?
Anti-tick, anti-mosquito, anti-fly. It's
Oh.
amazing. I use it on the dogs.
Okay.
In their commercial, they spray it on a turtle. That's how safe it is.
Okay.
In their commercials on their website, Wonderside, and I'll put a link for you guys all down here. But they're spraying it with their kids are playing in the yard. And I love the way it smells. It smells like cedar and pine and lavender and we use it all the time. My dogs do not get ticks. I do not get ticks. I do not get bit by mosquitoes. I mean, we use it all the time. And it's also a spray that we put on the yard once a month, once every 6 weeks or so through the summer. We
Okay.
also have blue dotted salamanders that are protected by the state in our backyard because of the wetlands behind our house. And we
Oh.
checked with them and said, can we use this? And they were like, yes. And the salamanders are still out there. The turtles are still out there. The frogs are still out there. Everybody's happy.
Oh.
It is an amazing product. And these two girls were on Shark Tank,
Oh, okay, cool.
Wonderside. And it is an organic, non-harmful treatment that will keep the nasties away from you. And it is wonderful. I am crazy
Oh,
about it. So
I
little
just wrote it
commercial
down
for
while
them.
you were I just
Wonderside.
wrote it down while you were talking. I'm
Yeah.
gonna order some.
And I
Cool.
just love it. And there's a spray for you to spray in your dogs. There's a spray for you to spray in yourself. There's the hose spray that you use in the yard. They make a gnat trap. They make because we have the gnat traps in the house too, because it's great. It just takes care. I mean, and it smells amazing. So
Cool.
I was also coated with that. So I told Mo, I was like, well, I was coated with Wonderside when I was out there. So I didn't get any ticks or anything. And she's just like, I
Yes.
just couldn't believe that you were kind of advocating going out in shorts. We don't do that
Oh,
when you
I
come
think
see me.
it's
And I
fine.
was like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. I mean, and I get it. I get that. So I mean,
Yeah.
I do love hearing from people because at the same time, as I tell you that I'm not good at something, I'm also out to learn and I'm also curious like a cat. And I want to know stuff and I want people to call me and ask me questions or send me an email or tell me, because I can also defend everything I've done. And I'm happy to do that. And so just give me a chance to start the conversation. And one of my favorite parts about my job is that I return every single comment and every single email or letter or message online back to the people because it's important to me. I want to know what you think. I want to be responsible.
Mhm.
So that's also part of it. Now tell me about the sensory garden in
Yeah.
Chicago.
So at the Chicago Botanic Gardens, I liked one of the things you talked about when you were forest bathing was just to use all of your senses. Because I think a lot of times when you're going for a walk in the woods, you just, take it in with looking at everything. Or
Correct.
if you smell something, you happen to be walking by, but you don't think about using all of your senses and
Right.
touching. So at the Chicago Botanic Garden, there's an area called the Sensory Garden, and it's specifically for your senses. So they have a little area where it's all plants that you're supposed to touch. And so they have, like fuzzy plant, all these different textures.
Do
and
they have a
everything.
sensitive plant that you can touch and it closes?
Oh, no, I don't think
Okay.
so. Oh, that's
Mimosa pudica, the sensitive
Oh.
plant that closes when you touch it. My grandpa always had those in the greenhouse. That's why I asked.
Oh,
So,
cool.
okay.
Oh, I need to look this up. Yeah. But so I love going there because I feel like so much of the garden, you go walk around and they have all these different
true.
sections. And then we go to the sensory garden, and that's where there's a section that's just everything smells different. And you go down and you can smell all the different plants. There's all these different plants
Oh.
you can touch. So yeah, it's a really cool just like area that you can walk through, and there's parts that are super wooded and shaded that you're going through, so you're kind of taking it all in.
Oh, wow. And that has a lot to do with what we are setting up. I will tell you right now, we're going to go up to see Mo in Sheboygan at her national therapy area up in
Cool.
Sheboygan, where she brings the blind kids.
Oh, that's so cool.
She said that she was there to teach them, but they were teaching her.
Oh, I love that.
Because they would hear things or they would smell things or they would touch things because they didn't have their eyes to depend on.
Wow.
I've also had my friend Brittany, her brother is Kelly's godson, but Brittany has been on the show. She is a deaf speech, an ASL expert at Madonna University, American Sign Language. I would love to do forest bathing with Brittany.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would want to know. I mean, like Ms. Margot was on the show in season 7, and she talked about how she heard a leaf fall and hit like 8 times before it got to the ground. That is
Wow.
also interesting to me. So I'm wondering if Brittany's sensation of sight and smell is different because she's deaf.
Oh,
I'm sure
great.
it is. I mean, but I think that all of that is about being outside and slowing down enough to get away from the phones and the microphones and the screens and the
Right, right.
all that stuff that we
Yeah,
do
yeah.
now,
Mhm.
that, it gives you that opportunity. And that was part of the reason that we wanted to put boulders in the yard, was that I wanted to be able to have a place to go out and sit. And I wanted to sit on something natural, not something built.
Mhm.
And so we were really strategic about bringing boulders into our yard where you can sit.
Cool. Yeah.
That has we had this one that had this little corner on it where you could put a glass of scotch. That's what I joked about. But anyway, we're going to have this guy in season 8 who builds bird baths out of stone, where he takes
Oh,
a piece
that's
of
so
stone
cool.
and he carves out a bird bath. And so we bought one from him, and it is sitting in that spot because the point of the rock sits right down in where that glass holder was. And so now that's
Oh.
going to be a bird bath. But we're going to have
Cool.
him on the show to tell us about that. So I think that, the whole forest bathing, this is the point where it started.
Mhm.
This was the
Yeah.
point where get out in nature. And your
Mhm.
show that you're in is
Mhm.
Get Outside. That's the name
Yeah.
of that show. Get Outside. Put down that phone and get outside.
Right, right.
And that's
Mhm.
what it's about. So yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Oh.
true. Very true.
I love, Jay, you said when you were talking in the forest that proper conditions are encouraging life and growth on every kind of surface. And I thought that was such a touching thing. When you are in the forest, you're looking at moss on the stones and
I'm
vines
crazy about
crawling up the
moss.
trees. And yeah, it's like every kind of surface is alive and encouraging life. And it's just when you're sitting there taking it all in, you really can notice everything.
I don't know if you'll stop me if I've told you this, because we've talked about so much now, but
Mhm.
this year also, season 9, we are eliminating the yard. We're eliminating the
No, I don't.
lawn turf in our
Oh,
front yard.
I think we talked about this offline, Jay, but I don't know
Okay,
if we've
we
talked
got
about
these
it.
giant bags of seed that are clover and stuff like that, and we've worked with our township, and got an approval, and we are going to overseed the lawn, and we are not going to mow anymore.
That is incredible.
And so that is coming up this season, and I think that that's going to be a big thing too, because again, this company that I'm working with, I'll put a link for them in the comments as well. They were also helpful in saying, do you have shaded areas? Do you have full sun areas? We'll send you different packages of seeds for those arees. So things will
Oh.
do better and grow more natively in those areas. So I'm really excited to get started with it. And what we're going to do is we don't clean our front yard in the winter. We don't pick up leaves or anything. We are not going to clean them off this spring, because normally they would come in and clean them all off and then start mowing the lawn and put in, we have tried to use organic fertilizers and stuff up front and everything, but we're not going to do that. So we're just going to aerate the lawn and seed at the same time.
Oh, over the leaves that are there now?
Right over the leaves, right over the lawn that's
Cool.
there, and just
Okay.
jump in full tilt. I'm really lucky because Kelly's sister lives across the street from us.
Oh.
So she's our closest neighbor. And, she's the one who's going to be looking at us, and she's excited about it too. So that's great.
Great,
But
great.
but there's new regulations in our area because we're trying to do water conservation in our township. We use a lot of water because we're caring for this lawn. And so I wanted to eliminate that. So I went to the township and said, would you allow us Would you take away the restrictions of having to have a manicured lawn if you want us to use less water? Because once I get this lawn established, I don't need to water. It's all drought tolerant. But it's going to grow. And it's going to get 6 or 8 or 10 inches tall. And so then I don't want to be fined by the city because I'm not mowing it and taking care of it. And because I got them connected with the company that we're using for the seed material, they were like, they waived it for everybody.
Oh,
because
that's
they
great.
want to conserve water. One of the coolest things about Michigan is our dedication to water conservation, because we're surrounded by the Great Lakes, as you know. So
Yeah.
that's a very important thing for us. And water conservation is very important. So that's yet another thing that we're going to be doing this season. So you'll be able to watch that on Life in Blue. We're filming it this season, so it'll be next year, not another season coming out. When it comes to flowers lasting as long as possible, I always choose Kreisel Flower Food. Flowers benefit from food and keeping the water clean. In my experience, Kreisel Flower Food does the best job. It's formulated by scientists. My favorite product is Kreisel Professional 3. Kreisel Flower Food products are available at their website, kreiselflowerfood.com. That's CHRYSAL flowerfood.com. And be sure to use our discount code, UBloom10, for 10% off your purchase. Support the joy of flowers. The Life in Bloom Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to flower education and inspiring a love of flowers in everyone. The foundation helps fund the production of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom on public television, making it possible for viewers across the country to enjoy the beauty and benefits of flowers. The foundation also provides free flower education to high schools, colleges, and floriculture programs through ubloom.com, helping students and future florists bloom in their own careers. Your donation in any amount makes a difference. Plus, all contributions are 100% tax deductible. If you'd like to help us continue sharing the power of flowers, visit the lifeinbloomfoundation.org to donate today. Thank you for your support. Okay, Wasp Nest. Do you want to talk about Wasp Nest?
I do, Jay. I was scared.
Okay, so we have wasps and we have hornets.
I think when we were filming, when I was there was a wasp nest when you were going to film a segment outside on your front porch.
It was, and it had built itself into the eave, and it was inside the eave. And here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to go back to this. I've never, ever, ever been stung by a wasp. Ever. My entire life. Okay. And we have a lot of them on our property. That was because of the guy from Aberdeen, apiary, who said to me, just try not to act like a bear. And so he said, I also believe that if you believe that they won't sting you, they won't sting you because you're not secreting an endorphin at that point in time that shows you're afraid. And wasps and bees can smell that.
Really?
And so I just try not to be afraid. But like some people, like Raul, our photographer, terrified.
I am too, Jay. I've been stung a lot, and I think it's because I'm so scared, and they can tell.
And it could very well be. And so, so that was a tricky one for us because we had to go into the eave and eliminate that. Typically, they build in the trees and bushes around here. So then when everything defoliates, I can see them. I can see the nest. So then I bring the nest inside, I put it in a glass container and seal it, okay? And then I put it back out in the garage to freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw. Okay. And then it eliminates anybody who's going to live in it. So then I could take that out and use that, and I connected it to that branch again and do that because I do think that wasp nests are beautiful.
They are, and it was really cool in the arrangement that you made. It was such a cool touch, and you had a bird's nest in there too in that arrangement.
Okay,
that was such a cool
so can
arrangement.
Bird expert, can we talk about the bird nest for a minute?
Sure.
So I got calls from people who told me that it's illegal for you to pick up a bird nest.
Oh, yes.
It is, correct?
Yes,
It's like a jailable offense.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I know you're not supposed to.
$15,000 fine and a jailable offense for picking up bird nests from migratory birds. And their feathers.
Yes, their feathers. I was going to say, you're not. If you see a feather on the ground, technically you're not.
You are not.
To pick
and
it up.
So in our foraging episode, I used a bird nest and I used a turkey feather. Now, the turkey feather was given to me by a gentleman who had killed the turkey. So I don't know and turkeys are not considered migratory. So I was able to get a clearance on that because I had to go check with the FCC then. Once we had this on the show, I'm like, okay, now what do we do? Because this is why we carry insurance. Okay, and this is why we have errors and omissions insurance. But not bird nests, okay?
Right.
It all stems from the 18th century. That's how long ago this law is from. But people were going out to get bird nests and put in their Victorian homes as a decoration under a cloche. Okay? And so they were actually taking them out of the trees. And so that's why this law is in effect.
Yeah.
Now, my natural admission is when we have a windstorm or something, we have a remarkable amount of robins in our development. I don't know why, but we have robins, we have cardinals, we have blue jays, we have all these birds, right? And so when there's a storm, there will invariably be a bird nest on the ground.
Right.
And when I'm walking the dogs, I'm just always like, Well, and here's my thought. It won't get used again
Mm-hmm.
because it's on the ground. And again, also, there's never eggs in them or anything or any
Right.
baby birds in them, but it's not going to get used again. So I don't know what I should do with it. I do know that I have the murdering robin who
Mm-hmm.
lives here. She wants to build underneath this deck that you can see behind me in a spot. And then she gets frantic because she's built her nest there whenever any of the dogs or us, and she attacks us all. So
Oh.
as soon as she starts putting one or two pieces up there, I take it and put it in a tree outside the fence. Well, I did that for 3 years, and last year she built her nest in that tree.
Oh, wow.
Which was great. So I have changed her behavior now
Yeah.
to be able to do that. I get that. But I would pick up these nests because I do believe that they're a very interesting, beautiful piece of construction. And I have for many years featured them in flower arrangements that I've made. I won't do that anymore, but I didn't realize that that was an illegal, like a jailable offense.
Oh, yeah.
What everybody puts on, I mean, what I could find searching and talking to people, forestry people and people at Blandford Nature Center and stuff is, if it's in your yard, it's kind of a gray area. I talked to Miss Margot about it too. And Miss Margot's like, no. Do not. Because she's Native American. And that's like, yeah, it's like another level of disrespect in the Native American world to touch those things. And it's like, okay, now I understand. Now I got it, But I was really surprised. So yeah, there is a bird nest in this arrangement. And there is a company called Knud Nielsen that makes fake bird nests for you to use in arrangements.
I was going to say, Jay, you could have told me that was decorative and I wouldn't have been able to call you out on it.
One of my very best friends in the whole world that I lived with in Atlanta, her name's Dana Brooks. She made these remarkable bird nests that were like the size of my head that she would sell in these big glass boxes at market and stuff. And they were absolutely gorgeous. And she made them. And she would put mud in them and she would make them, and they were a decorative object you could have in your home, and she would put fake eggs in them and stuff. And they were just, they're incredible. And they would sell for hundreds of dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool too, because I can see the respect to nature, but I also want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. In the future, I will use fake ones.
Oh.
So that's true too. Now, the other thing that's very odd is in the summer, I had a bird nest in a pot sitting in the garage, and a bird came and laid eggs in it. So I left my garage door open and I left the bird have its babies in that pot and everything, and the babies go in and out and everything. But then I was like, well, can I get rid of that nest?
I know.
Because I have a jail sentence sitting in my pot, and the Blandford Nature people were like, yes, you can get rid of that. You should get rid of it, and you shouldn't have it in there because you shouldn't be tempting him, because it's a bad place for them to nest. And I was like, I got it. I get you.
Okay.
So I mean, but yeah. So it's just like, wow. That's a whole nother episode to unpack, RJ, with your bird expertise.
Yeah.
I love blue jays because my name is Jay. So I love blue jays.
Yeah.
One of my nicknames that kind of always stuck with me is Jaybird.
Oh, yeah.
P. Allen Smith called me Jaybird all the time. He'd be like,
Oh,
Jaybird,
cool.
Hey, Jaybird, what are you doing? What's going on in here today, Jaybird? And I would be like, so, I mean, I get that. And so I think blue birds, and I am attracted to blue things in nature. I'm attracted to blue flowers. I'm attracted to blue foliage. I'm attracted to blue feathers. I'm attracted to blue eggs. I'm attracted to looking at those things or taking pictures of them because they're beautiful. So but don't pick up the bird nest.
Okay. Yes.
Just so we are clear. And whoever wrote to me about that, thank you for writing to me, and thank you for making me aware, and I really appreciate it. And if you're listening to the podcast, you know that you're the reason that we're talking about this. So thank you. I appreciate that.
And you said earlier in the episode too, Jay, that you're always open and you're always learning.
Absolutely.
And this is a process. So
you want to know.
And now people are learning through you as well.
Correct.
So,
correct.
Yeah,
so then we can be kind and we can teach each other. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, the vintage meadow moss. Do you want to talk about this?
Yes.
Okay, they don't make this product anymore. It's gone.
The textured paint?
The textured paint was part of Design Master, and when Design Master was purchased by and merged with Oasis, they removed those texture paints.
Oh, okay.
So
it was cool.
It was really cool, and it was a great moss alternative, and it's kind of you can still buy textured paint, and I I haven't really ever explored that anymore, but they made one that was a glacier one. They made one that was a rock. There used to be one called Fleckastone. Do you remember a thing called Fleckastone?
No, I
And
don't.
it was a textured paint that you could paint on a vase or paint on anything, and it would make it look like a rock.
Oh, that's really cool.
And I don't know if
Oh.
Fleckastone still exists or not, but,
Oh.
there probably are other textured ones. But this one was cool because it made it look like moss. And it was
Yeah.
also this was an episode that we picked up out of Fun with Flowers and Jay that we brought forward to this episode.
Okay.
And so at the point when we published it, that was still available. But then a couple years later, after the pandemic, then that product went away. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So then we also have the moss cake.
I was going to say, so that can still be made.
Right, which is sugar cookie dough and
That was so cool.
and the crumbs that you dye to make it look like moss. And
I love that.
I found that online. And
Oh.
again, I will put a link here for all of you who listen to the podcast. When we talk about any of these episodes that have a recipe in it, I put a link in the comments at the end of this so that you guys can find it in our description of the website. The printed out recipe is always in my blog. And that's where those links will take you. Will take you to my blog. I've had a couple of people this week who were really frustrated. The garlic episode was on, and they couldn't find Nick's recipe. It is our most downloaded. I mean, it's the most read blog. It's the most downloaded episode. It's the most downloaded recipe on the entire website. It's over 1 million. It's Nick's, but it's in the blog. And there is also a behind the bloom video of Nick making it. It takes 3 hours to make them in real time.
Okay.
So we had to condense it and to put it in the show. So I mean, so just so people know that it's there. So speaking of Nick, well,
Yes.
okay, the sea moss smoothie.
Oh.
The sea moss smoothie. Watch the outtakes.
Yes.
Okay, it tastes like a Christmas candle. That's what it tastes like.
I was laughing so hard because I went back through to look through the ingredients. Like, where is this Christmas coming from?
And it's just the combination of things. And it was
Cool.
funny because Judy, my rep, said that thing didn't taste good. And actually it does. It tastes like a Christmas candle.
Cool.
So I don't think that it tastes bad, but the sea moss that you buy and you have to thaw and you have to hydrate, it doesn't smell very good.
Okay.
And it's salty. It is salty too. So it adds
I didn't think about
It's
that.
kind of like a salted Christmas candle.
Yeah. Do you think it's the color green playing tricks with your head and your
No.
taste buds? No? Okay.
I think it's something about the combination of the spices that are in it.
Cool.
I think that's
Okay.
it. Okay.
I want to try it.
So
But-
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So this was Grace's first appearance on the show with the Marino moss balls.
Awesome.
And we still have the moss balls from
Cool.
that show. They're still alive. They're sitting right over across the
Cool.
office from me, and they're over there. And Grace has hers too.
Oh, cool.
And so they're very long-lived. They're very easy to care for. They're wonderful. They're in Iceland, but I could never really determine whether they're a native of Iceland or a native of Japan.
Oh, okay.
And one or the other brought them to the other place. So in one of
Okay.
the places, they're an invasive species. So I don't know
Okay.
which one that is.
Okay. Because it's a Japanese name, right?
Correct.
Marimo.
Marimo. Yeah,
But
Marimo.
they might not necessarily be Japanese.
Right.
Okay.
And so, yeah, and there's a Gerbera daisy coming up in season. I don't know if it made it into season 8 yet, but there's a Gerbera daisy that's grown by Ocean View called Marimo.
Oh,
And it's just
okay.
a green ball on top of a stem.
Oh, cool.
And so it looks like a Marimo moss ball. I agree with you. I think that this was a really good episode because Grace and I are very much like this. She's a scientist.
So she's looking at stuff with a scientific lens versus a
And
creative lens, right?
also a teaching lens. I
Oh,
wonder
right.
how this happens. What questions would we want to ask? And so it is funny because she will catch me and stuff and be like, why are we doing this? And I'm like, just because it's pretty.
I love that.
And she's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. You know, and she's well with that. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So that's,
yeah.
And
Yeah.
she teaches, she won Michigan Science Teacher of the Year. And she was also up for
Wow.
National Science Teacher of the Year. She wrote
Wow.
a teaching curriculum to teach kids chemistry through cooking.
Oh, cool.
She worked at a high needs school, and it was great. because she was teaching these kids how to cook. She's teaching them a skill that's going to be valuable for the rest of their lives and also teaching them chemistry at the same time. Well, then after she won that award, she was hired by a company out of Sweden. She sells 3D teaching nationwide here in the United States.
Cool.
That same concept of teaching kids through having the kids help create the curriculum and also wondering and asking questions as they do so. She is so good at her job. And the company loves her. She is one of the most amazing teachers. Her claim to fame, and I love this, when she's pitching the 3D teaching to new teachers, she said usually they're sitting there and they're kind of apprehensive. And she shows them a video and she said, you should look at this video and tell me how this teacher does doing this project. And so she shows them a video and then they don't ever want to say anything. And she's like, let me start and let me tell you what this teacher did wrong. And then the third or fourth question is usually, you're the teacher in this video. And she's like, uh-huh. And they said, you showed us a video of you doing it wrong and critiqued it yourself. We are all in on this.
Cool.
And that is her. That's my Gracie. I mean, she's
fascinating.
She is just amazing that way. And she's, and it was fun. Kel's brother has since passed away, but he loved this show that Grace was in. It was really fun for him to watch her. So I mean, that's really, Grace has been on the show many times and she'll be on in season 8. We did The Days of Wine and Roses, and she makes her famous cheese puffs, which may rival Nick's famous garlic roll.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's been on the show a couple times and she will continue to do so. But yeah, and then she did get a foliage crown with a moss ball in it.
Yes, that was cool.
She was good so the ritual continued with Grace. So yes. Do you want to talk about hellebores for half a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Christmas rose, it's also known as the Lenten rose because it generally will bloom during Lent, which is early for our period of time. And they can bloom with snow on them and did last year.
With snow?
Yes.
Wow. That would be so cool to see.
We have about 12 different varieties in the backyard.
Okay.
It is interesting because people tell me they're poisonous. It's the black root that's poisonous.
Oh, okay. So not the flower itself. It's
still considered toxic. And people are like, you have your dogs in your yard. My dogs don't eat plants. I know people have dogs that eat plants, but my dogs don't. The day we got George, the day we got Ladybird, the day we got Eleanor, the day we got Lucy, the day we got Clara, they're out in the garden going to the bathroom. That's where this is their garden. I mean, we joke about them being denizens of the garden, but it's the truth. They run this garden out here. This is their spot. And they don't eat plants. I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you except that I've not taught them not to eat plants and never had to reprimand them. They just don't.
Mm.
And I don't know why that is, but I mean, I know that people have, and I know that cats, like Grace has a cat, and cats like to eat stuff. They like to eat grass and stuff. So she has to be cautious about what plants. I don't really worry about. I mean, and like some people are like, hostas are supposed to be poisonous too. My dogs don't eat hostas. I cut hostas and use them in arrangements, but my dogs,
they know.
My dogs eat dog food.
Yeah.
Farmer's dog. Just so that we're aware. Farmer's dog. They eat Farmer's dog. So Farmer's dog is my brand. So a brand recognition there for Farmer's dog people, but George on Farmer's dog. So yeah. And I just think they're a beautiful flower. They really are. And I just keep planting different varieties because there's so many different varieties. And they'll all come into bloom at one time, and we don't really usually film during that period of time, so they don't get used a lot. But our friends at Ocean View grow them as a crop. And so that they'll appear on the show sometimes too because of that. We did film that crop. So when we do our visit to Ocean Breeze Farms with Ivor and with Renee and with Michael Furlong, that show will contain the different types of crops that they grow. And one of them is the dahlias and one of them is the hellebores as well. All right. Well, thank you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. Jay. This was a fun one.
It was good. All right.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right. Okay, bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on Behind the Bloom podcast with Jay Schwanke and RJ Poole. If you loved what you heard, be sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And share it with a friend to help us spread the joy, one bloom at a time. Thank you for taking the time to slow down with us. And hopefully you left feeling a little lighter and inspired to try something new. Make sure to join us next week for a brand new episode. Thanks for being here with us, Behind the Bloom. Hey, just one more thing. If you love flowers, you've got to check out ubloom.com. It's the online home of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom, where you can stream every episode for free. Plus, you'll find behind the bloom videos, my blog, show recipes, and so much more. There's also a massive video archive, over 1,800 how-to videos, flower farm documentaries, and even my very first series, JTV. All Life in Bloom episodes, exclusive web content, and farm documentaries are totally free. Just sign up with your email. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there's a paid subscription option that unlocks the full library of how-to videos. Everything from creating bridal bouquets to centerpieces, corsages, and more. Tons of content to explore. You're gonna love it.